We see with one love, one heart, one drum beating to a song they're singing us home. We dance in white light under the starlight. We are the sacred seeds of the sound of Om. We are the movers and the shakers and the peacemakers. We are the movers and the shakers and the peacemakers.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Unity. It's the first week in spring, first Sunday in spring. Vivaldi was playing on the radio. I was driving to East Stem Academy, and all day Thursday they played everything that had to do with spring. Appalachian Spring, there was one about the birds, of course Vivaldi. It was all so much fun, and I just went, wow, that just really wakes me up. And as you can see, everything's blooming now. It's really beautiful outside. I love the red buds. So welcome Zoomers. I'm sorry we had a little glitch getting in, but I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad all of you are here. We've on this beautiful Sunday. So not only was Thursday the first day of spring, it was also International Day of Happiness. Did you know that? I did not know that. And that was a day declared by the UN in 2012. And I follow Reverend Ogun Holder. He writes a wonderful blog on Substack, and I've gotten to know him through the years. He's a Unity minister. And, this was created to have a more inclusive, equitable, and balanced approach to economic growth that promotes the happiness and well-being for all peoples. That's a good mission. And what's the difference between, we talk about happiness, and I don't know about y'all, sometimes I'm not so happy these days, I don't know, but then there's happiness, and then there's joy. Imagine that. There's happiness, and then there's joy. Now, happiness is fleeting and kind of depends on outward circumstances. Joy, that is something that is always present if we want to tap into it. It's the lasting state of being that we can come to. Now, there's no denying, like Dave said, there are some dark times, and they might get heavier, they might get darker, but these times only win when we allow our joy to always be suppressed, and our ability to imagine and believe in the future. We can't let that be shut down. I know it gets grim, but hang on. Now, you may think that I'm kind of in denial. I was realizing, pretty generally, I'm kind of happy wherever I am, and people will be sharing these traumatic experiences and whatnot. Now, if I go back and dig, oh yeah, I've had my stuff, but I think it is a choice, it is a choice. And in this now moment, see, I'm with you all now. This is my group. These are my peoples right here. This is our community. And these are our core values in love. We're here for empowerment and transformation and service. So in this now moment, I'm going to envision a unified, diverse world embracing divine connection and inclusion for all. And as we say, our mission here at Unity of Little Rock, is we shine light, peace, and love by empowering and transforming lives through experiences of service and community. So this is one of our experiences right here, right now. And I'm so glad all of you are here. So let's, I forgot the theme of the month. I intend to live by that mission. I'm really wanting to be very intentional about it and moving through our days with intention. Well, let's start with a good song. And you can sing along if you want. This is I Sing My Life, Love and Joy.
Yeah! You guys can sing with me. You can you. All right? I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I dance my joy. I dance my joy. I dance my joy. I dance my joy into the world. Yeah. I dance my joy. I dance my joy. I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy. I dance my joy. I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy. I dance my joy. I dance my joy into the world. I live my peace. I live my peace. I live my peace. I live my peace into the world. I live my peace. I live my peace. I live my peace into the world. I live my peace. I live my peace. I live my peace into the world. I live my peace. I live my peace. I live my peace into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. Ooh, I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. I sing my love. I sing my love. I sing my love into the world. Yeah.
So with that good energy, Michael, if you'd come up and light the Christ candle.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. The opening statement this morning for the Christ candle. For every being, Christ's light shines through each of us, illuminating the world around us. Each one of us is a keeper of the light. As we light our Christ candle, we remember that Jesus Christ said, "Let your light shine." For each one of us is given a light to keep and to illuminate the world. You are a radiating center of the Christ light. Your spirit is a contagious influence for good. It is the greatest gift you can share with the world.
Amen. Amen.
I'm so glad I love that.
I love it, Pam. You're going right along with it. So let's light that light. Thank you. And if you would, lead us in our opening. Whoa, wait, I wanted to go back.
Let's say this together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God, the good, the omnipotent.
Thank you so much. Now, you're not going to believe it. This is really true. The daily word today is joy. So, share that with us, Angel.
Let's start off with saying the affirmation. Together, joy fills my heart and warms my soul. Today, I will view the world through eyes of joy. This mindful practice will make even the most ordinary things seem special, and the things I may have taken for granted seem fresh and new. Even as the energy I bring to my relationships will be imbued with harmony and peace. I will feel lighter, kinder, and more connected to the people in my life when I commit to living with joyful intention. Moments of frustration, disagreements with others, and disappointments may disturb my equilibrium for a time, but will not rob me of my joy. I honor God each time I share my joy, and as I bless myself by feeling joyful, I bring more love, more peace, and more happiness to the world. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Psalms 118:24.
I also want to remind you that this is the season of Lent. And the Unity booklet is in the garden. And it's really kind of interesting because Reverend Ellen Davenport has pulled together, it's about releasing things that we no longer service, but her theme is around Jesus being in the Garden of Gethsemane and that night. And it's really, I'm going to refer to it a little bit later. We had trouble getting the booklets. Beverly did order some, but you can go online and you can even download the booklet, unity.org, and just look for the Lent booklet 2025. You can even Google that, and it'll take you right to a place where you can get the downloadable version, if you like.
Where at?
Unity.org. But just Google Lent 2025 Unity, and you'll go right to it. We got our energy up, but it's always good to bring that energy in and bring it to prayer. And we remember, I open, God is, I am, I know, and I can, and I appreciate. And we talked a lot about patterns yesterday, but Linda Whitsett talks about the movements of prayer. It's like a spiral, and it always starts from our heart. So let's just take a breath, and we breathe. As I enter this moment of prayer with my loving community, I release any distractions. I release expectations. And I open my heart and mind to that infinite life and love and wisdom that is divine source. Wholeheartedly, I surrender to this now moment, and I trust in that divine wisdom and my purpose that unfolds right now. Now, in the tradition of Tonglen, a Buddhist practice, I breathe in the world, and I breathe out the truth of my spirit. I breathe in maybe chaos and confusion, and I breathe out order and strength and spiritual power. I breathe in helplessness, but I breathe out hope. I am anchored in the truth of my wholeness. I'm fully aware of the divine life flowing through me in every part of my being. My mind is renewed, and my body is strengthened, and my spirit is uplifted. Oh, the beautiful gift of affirmative prayer. And the deep knowing of God's presence and my divine nature, I draw upon an endless well of inner strength. I ask, what is mine to do? What do I face that can be changed? I touch into my divine guidance to know this. I live with divine clarity in every circumstance. I am a voice of unity, walking alongside you and others with grace and compassion. We may have differing perspectives, but we walk each other home. We walk with each other. And in every moment, I live in the flow of divine love. When I stop and remember this love, and I live in that flow, knowing that harmony is really my natural state. I appreciate truth, the unity teachings. I appreciate this community that has gathered here today. It is my safe and welcoming haven. No matter what's out there, I come here out of the storm, and I appreciate the work that we do now and all the good things to come. And so it is. So it is.
I remember as a small child, and all through the years of growing up, when chaos swirled around me, your calming presence found me, and I could feel your love. And I remember asking, what would you have me do? You whispered into my soul, this gift will make your life whole. This treasure is for you, and you will love, and you will lead, and you will be my hands and feet, a guiding star with your servant's heart. No, this heart can still be broken, and sometimes it may bleed, but when it's kind and open, this life that you have chosen will give you all you need. Yours will be the path less traveled as you seek your sacred place. But even when it's painful, as one of my angels, you'll find amazing grace, and you will love, and you will lead, and you will be my hands and feet, a guiding star with your servant's heart. There'll be days you feel like giving up. Take the time to fill your cup. Take care of you. You will love, you will lead, and you will be my hands and feet, a guiding star with your servant's heart. Your precious servant's heart.
You remember at the beginning it said this was written at the request of a Unity minister, and that minister was Reverend Becky Whitehead. She played that for us at the workshop, and I just teared up. I was in the back, and Becky did notice it, and the reason is, and I think I still do, it just really gets to me because it reminds me of my dad. Oh, my dad, he believed in service, and that he was my example. I'm sorry. Wow. It's still, I'll have to let her know, It still gets to me, but I love it. You will love and you will lead. And nowhere in there was it about sacrifice and giving up yourself. They were just beautiful, beautiful lyrics. So I knew I had to try to talk about that today. And so I Googled A Servant's Heart. Well, y'all, it's a thing, especially with the women of the church. Let me show you the title slide here. Let's see. And I found this illustration, and it's thebusyblessedwomen.com. Because guess what? It's kind of the women of the church that do this a lot. And so I found it like with, especially like Catholic women organizations, and it's a big deal, this servant's heart. But then I read some of what was going on, and I had to raise my eyebrows. So I added a little bit to this title, Living from a Servant's Heart in Unity. Because I don't think we approach it the same way that some other organizations do, from a very traditional point of view. So I'll show you. So here's one of the websites, 5 tips for having a servant heart. And this Dr. Michelle Bingston, I couldn't totally get her background, but she seems to be a psychotherapist, maybe a spiritual counselor. And so, okay, so I said, okay, I'll look at this. So I'll tell you a little bit about it. So her advice included that Jesus came to earth as a servant with a commitment to serve. He always put others' needs first. If he had come instead to be served, our salvation and sanctification could and would have never happened. So, he saved us with his service and putting others' needs first, okay? And if we want to be great, we must be least. Now, it is true, some servants, and I will do this, you get in the background, because the background work is really important. I mean, I want to tell y'all what, we wouldn't be doing Zoom and all that we do all the time if it hadn't been for somebody like Angel McCoy. And now we're training others to do it. So she's that servant in the background, but she is not least, not in our community, not by a long shot. Okay, and this next one, this one really got me, and it reminded me of Esther talks about non-duality a lot, but she said, well, when we watch the example that Jesus was for his disciples and for us, he gave us only 2 choices. We can choose to serve ourselves, or we can choose to serve others. And if we choose to serve ourselves, then we cannot be his disciples. And I go, well, wait a minute. That is an either-or world, and I want to live in a both-and world. And I believe Becky really made a point of that service is one of our core values, and part of that is self-care. And you all know this. You have to, at Unity, well, I'll say that in a minute. But then there's a lot about obeying his commands, and we cannot be selfish, and we cannot be angry. We've got to be good girls and good people, and so forth. Now, the commandment of Jesus is really rather simple. Love one another as you would love yourself. I mean, we know that. Love. So that's okay. But what happens is a lot of religion has just heaped on a lot more rules than that. So, yes.
I don't know, I've done a lot of service work, and I do it because I'm selfish, because it fills me up.
Oh, okay. Okay, good point. Well, that's good, Roger, because it does me too, no matter what. I always get something out of it. It's not just that I have to give. So, I forgot that I put that in there. So here's my take. Now you might disagree with me, but anyway. See, I don't see Jesus as catering to others' needs. Unless you see needs as maybe universal love and peace and being seen and being heard. I think he came to empower and transform lives. I think his teachings gently but firmly challenge us. He was not a submissive servant by any means. So that's just my take on it. And if you look at his parables and how he talked to his disciples, he stood his ground all the time, but he did it in love. And so, now I personally don't live with this duality, serving myself or serving others, as I was saying, because I believe unity is an inside-out job. So it definitely include self-care as well as family and community in the world. And I think when we are grounded and we feel whole in our well-being, that's when we're the powerful servants. And I can't abate a prescribed program. I can't, you know, it's gotta be my way. It's gotta be authentic, you know, coming from us. So now I do agree with this point that God has all given us each our gifts and talents. And that's where we serve from. You know, for me, teaching is definitely, that's my vocation. And whether I'm teaching right now or teach, like yesterday, I taught math in the Labyrinth workshop. Oh, and it was fun. But the thing, you know, if you broadly know what your gift is, you wouldn't believe the possibilities of how it can reach out. So I definitely agree with that. Now, coming back to the Lent book, the Garden of Gethsemane, have you ever been reluctant to do service? I sometimes am. I mean, I was tired this morning, and I said, but no, I get up there and my community's going to jazz me up. Or, I don't know, certain service projects that, you know, you think, oh, I'm just a volunteer. It won't matter if I don't show up, and I don't really want to do that today. You know, there are times when we're reluctant and we have resistance to service. I get that. And Jesus certainly did. I think it's so cool because we talk about in Unity being 100% human and 100% divine. And I think Jesus demonstrated this too. Look at his prayer. He said, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, it's not my will, but it is your will that I will do. So there was that moment. And in the first part of the prayer, Jesus expressed reluctance by asking whether this was really his to do. I mean, you would think if the divine could just swoop down and save him from all that was about to pass. And it was an understandable, very human response. And yet in the same sentence, he immediately released his doubts and moved into surrender. Yet not what I want, but what you want. So Jesus was clearly seeing through to his soul's purpose. But he didn't get to skip any of the human steps. And neither do we. I mean, that's just life. Living a spiritual life doesn't exempt us from difficult times and whatever we're experiencing out in the world. But now, you know, at that time, you think about it, we always think we live in the worst time in the world. But can you imagine back then the oppressive Roman rule? Yeah, if you really go back and think about that, it was pretty bad. And in their hip pocket, the Romans had Herod, the ruler, and then there was Pontius Pilate, and he had to convict Jesus, so he was radically misunderstood at the time. I mean, just think about it. His primary teaching was love, but oh my God, they couldn't handle that. So, and for myself, I didn't always have a balanced way of dealing with service. I can see now that I reflect on it, I'm a lot better. But I used to be like, I'm not a 2 on the Enneagram, if you all know about that. But that's the one that wants to give and to serve and to be the helper. And I do sometimes have problems with no. But and there's been burnout and exhaustion sometimes. But these days, you guys, what I try to do is dance through life. That's my Nia practice. And in Nia, there are 9 dance forms, and one of them is Aikido. Now, I don't really claim to know very much about it, but I know that when we're doing dance moves, anytime we do rotations, circular movement, that's kind of related to Aikido. But I was talking to some friends this week, and and I was amazed at kind of the philosophy behind this and how this relates to life. So Aikido differs from the other martial arts because you seek to achieve self-defense without injury to the attackers. Now, some of y'all may know a lot more about this than me, so I'm just barely summarizing. But Aikido is often translated as the way of unifying with life energy, with whatever is coming, unify with the life energy. It's the way of a harmonious spirit. According to the founder's philosophy, the primary goal in the practice is to overcome oneself instead of cultivating violence or aggression. So now I've shown, he's throwing this guy, but from what I understand, you do this with dynamic ease. You've got this energy coming at you, and you really use the other's energy, and you pass, and then you without really that much effort, you flip them. Chris, you were going to say something?
Excuse me. There are no straight lines in Aikido.
Okay.
And in order to attack someone so they can practice Aikido, you have to use some other technique, because there is no attacking move in Aikido. And also, it's always a flow.
A flow, yes, and no, not linear. It's circular. So
Jeannie, just a couple observations, if I can.
certainly, please.
So, in the context of not doing service for ourselves,
Right.
there's so much rhetoric that we hear around the modern traditional church. Something to keep in mind is in the day that Christ was speaking about these things, he was really speaking out against the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Yes.
These are these religious organizations that weren't doing this, like what Roger was saying, because it made them feel good. No, they're doing it for public approval.
And for power.
For status and for power.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's where the churches like to take it and run with it.
Yeah.
And oh no, you got to bury yourself in the ground. And you can't, never put yourself up. And it's just not what it is at all. And then Christ practiced self-care all the time.
I think he did too.
Telling the disciples, look, keep the people away from me. I need some time to myself to commune with the Father, restore and balance. He wasn't going out for Starbucks and shopping, but that was his.
He didn't do shopping therapy.
I love that.
That's good. That's good. Well, I want to tell you how I realized, oh my gosh, I've been doing this. Okay, so I'm at East STEM Academy, and I get there this week, and they go, well, Dr. McGee, you can't have the conference room. We're going to take you over to the elementary school, and we're going to set you up over there, and I hope you can learn the technology that they have over there. And
Do they know you?
and they know. Well, that's true. And I did. But here's the deal. When I realized, now, if I'd been like a diva, I would have gone, what are you talking about? You're not going to do that. I realized I just went, whoop, whoop. It's like I turned and just let that go. And I said, well, let's go. So we loaded up the cart, and there we went. And I got everything going, or my children complain, Mom, you've got to move out of that house. You need to set up something that's easier to manage. And I just go, whoop. I hear you, but so I just hadn't thought about it. And how the harmonious part and the unifying the life energy. I don't think my kids love me when they say things like that, but that doesn't mean I have to do it. So, anyway, now I'm not a master at this by any means, but I'm just, when we get this self-awareness that we practice in unity, you can watch yourself and see how you're meeting all these things and how are you serving. And they asked me to do one of these jobs in West Helena, and it wasn't even back-to-back days. It would be me driving 2 different days, 2 hours each way. And I went, no, can't do that one. So, you know, there are choices in our service. There are choices that we can do. So start watching that. It's really interesting. Now, so here, what have I done? I've done Jesus in the Garden. We've done a keto. Okay, now I'm going to do a little movie that I saw recently. Let's see. I hope you all have seen this movie, The Wild Robot.
It's in my queue.
If you have not seen it, it is wonderful. It's free on Peacock, and then it's probably like $5.99 on some other streaming services. And Chris and I watched it, and it's just wonderful. Now, what has this got to do with service? Well, let me tell you. There are several robots that are constructed like that. It's called the ROSM. And the ROSM is programmed to serve. They are programmed to get a task and to complete it to perfection. And so, but there was a shipment of these robots that was in a ship, and the ship crashed due to a hurricane or something, and Roz landed on an island that was not inhabited by any humans. And accidentally some otters activated the robot. And so Roz was in search of a task. Now, you know what? Some people are so desperate to serve, you know, they just get to be busybodies and try to find out, what can I do? What can I do for you? And so she kept asking these animals, do you need assistance? And in fact, and then like she tried to help the beavers, and she crashed their dam, and oh my God, it was a mess. And so eventually the animals just chased her, you know. And now she did sit down. It was kind of amazing. She sat for a day or two and learned all the animal languages. And so she started being able to communicate with them, but she still, you know, her heart was, well, she didn't have a heart. She's a robot. So she just didn't get it. She just didn't get it. So, so there was a rock slide, and Roz was in it, and she crashed into a nest and killed some goose parents. And there was left this little egg, and it had hatched, and so let me show the next picture. So you can see in the bigger painting, there's Roz holding the little gosling, and she named it Bright Bill. And then the fox is named Fink, and he kept wanting to eat the gosling. But this trio became really good friends. And so Roz's task came to be kind of a mother. And of course she said, God, I'm not programmed for that. I have no idea. And who of any of us, we'd have no programming for being a mother, I gotta tell you. But the task, she boiled it down to eat, swim, fly. She had to teach it how to eat, to swim, and to fly. And so it's a real fun story of how she did that. And the big deal was winter was going to come on this island, and all the geese migrated. And because the gosling hatched early, it was kind of a runt goose. It's very little, so it really had to learn to fly with stamina if it was going to migrate. And Bright Bill was successful. And there's just a lot to the story. I can't tell you all of it, but one thing that the reason I picked up on it is that at first this motherhood seemed to be a crushing obligation, and she had to improvise to teach a goose how to fly, and you're a robot, and she did it. And I say she because I like Rosalind, I guess, but they. She realized that more of it came from the heart than from the mind or the programming. And she had to overwrite her programming. She said, we all have instincts of survival, but we must become more than we were programmed to be. Kindness is a survival skill, and we listen with a different part than what we were programmed with. So the church ladies might be kind of programmed, you know, but if you start thinking of service, you attune to the needs of others, and you think of broader possibility, and you serve with joy too. I want to play the song that was written, Maren Morris wrote the song that goes with this.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, this has some scenes from the movies. Wasn't that good?
That was very good.
I want you to know that the geese do return.
Okay.
And you may need to know that. But a lot, there's other things that happen, but when Bright Bill finds out that, oh, it was Roz that killed my parents, that kind of was a problem. But they make up, everything's good, and there's going to be a sequel to this. So when you watch it, you'll see where there's more to the story. But just...
It won some awards, didn't it?
Oh, yes, actually it did. It won, no, Flo won the Oscar for the animation, but definitely Wild Robot was nominated, and it probably has been award-winning.
What was the name?
The Wild Robot. The Wild Robot. It's really good.
Yeah.
So with a servant's heart, we simply attune to what is possible, what we can do, not just what we should do. We use our gifts with dynamic ease, and we're in the flow. And so, let us, gotta get this. So let us have just a short little meditation here. Oh, goodness. Can't believe I put those pieces together. I knew it. That always happens with me, doesn't it? It's just things that are out there and I'm trying to connect the dots. But it's fun. It's a puzzle. So let us breathe deeply, deeply, deeply into this moment, one with all that is. Of the power of release, and I'm untying the knots in my mind, in my heart, in my life. Going to my center, dropping out of my programming into my heart, my joy, my service, my empowerment. I'm opening up to the spaciousness of my own divine presence. Feel that opening, feel an expansion. And in this spaciousness, I am living compassion. Hands on heart, my faithfully, rhythmically beating heart. And my willing hands and open heart are channels of love and service. Take in each one of these statements. I know and trust the flow of life and gracefully play my part. I am fully conscious of my breath and body. I create energy and vitality. I feel it bubbling through. I initiate myself into my own ecstasy, my own joy. I connect to this world, this earth, in oneness. I deeply know the sacredness of all experience and share my awareness with others. That is a service sharing. I gather abundant resources to live wholeheartedly and give to my community. I sit in silence for just a moment as I contemplate a servant heart. And when you're ready, come back to this space, this beautiful community. My Zoomers, myself, here at Faith Lutheran, all of us, we have gathered in Christ and we will gather again. Mm.